Imagine this. It is Independence Day. The Indian flag is flying. People are gathered to celebrate 80 years of India's independence. And then something unexpected happens. A song that millions of Indians connect with India's freedom struggle becomes the center of a controversy. That song is Vande Mataram. And this time the controversy is coming from the state of Nagaland. Why are some organizations in Nagaland objecting to the singing of Vande Mataram? Is this about patriotism or is this about religion? Is this about Nagaland's unique identity or is there a bigger constitutional question behind all of this? Let's understand the story calmly without attacking anyone. So, let's begin. To understand the latest controversy, we actually have to go a few months back. In February 2026, the Ministry of Home Affairs issued instructions concerning the national song Vande Mataram, including its rendition at certain official occasions. The government was also marking 150 years of Vande Mataram. The issue then reached Nagaland. During the Nagaland Legislative Assembly's proceedings, Vande Mataram became a point of disagreement. Several legislators raised objections. The matter became serious enough that the Nagaland Legislative Assembly referred the issue to the Selective Committee for examination. And why were there objections? One major reason was religious conscience. Nagaland is predominantly Christian state, and some groups argued that compulsory participation in Vande Mataram could conflict with their religious belief. There was also another important argument. Article 378 of the Constitution gives Nagaland special protection concerning its religious and social practices and customs. So some people asked, how should a national directive be balanced with Nagaland's special constitutional protections? That is where the story becomes much more complicated than simply saying Naga people don't love India. That would be an unfair conclusion. Now, fast forward to August 15, 2026. As India celebrated Independence Day, the issue became even more visible. The Naga Students Federation called for a boycott of Independence Day programs in protest against what is described as compulsory singing of Vande Mataram. The Nagaland Baptist Church Council also publicly opposed making the singing compulsory, particularly where it could conflict with matters of faith and conscience. So now suddenly, a song that represents patriotism to millions of Indians was being discussed in Nagaland through another lens: religious freedom and cultural identity. And this is where we need to pause. Because there are two different questions here. The first, do you respect India? The second, can the state compel every citizen to participate in a particular patriotic expression? Those are not necessarily the same question. Let's take a step back. Vande Mataram has an extraordinary place in India's history. It was written by Bankim Chandra Chatterjee and first published in 1875. It became deeply associated with India's freedom movement. Rabindranath Tagore famously sang it at the 1896 Congress session, and in 1950, the Constituent Assembly adopted Vande Mataram as India's national song. So, for many Indians, saying or singing Vande Mataram is not simply singing a song. It represents sacrifice, freedom, struggle against British rule, and love for our motherland. That sentiment deserves respect. But there is another side to the story. The original composition contains religious imaginary that some communities may find incompatible with their faith. And this is particularly relevant when participation is compulsory rather than voluntary. So we have two genuine sentiments meeting each other. One says, this is our national song, why should anyone refuse to honor it? The other says, I love my country, but my religious conscience should also be respected. Both concerns deserve to be heard without insulting each other. Now comes the difficult question. Should Vande Mataram be made compulsory? Personally, I think we need to distinguish between respect and compulsion. You can respect a national symbol without believing that every citizen must express patriotism in exactly the same way. At the same time, disagreement with compulsory singing should not automatically be interpreted as hatred for India. And refusing to sing should not automatically mean refusing to respect the nation. India is a country where different religions, languages, cultures, and traditions live together. That diversity is not a weakness, it is a part of India's identity. And Nagaland itself is an important reminder of this. The constitution doesn't simply say everyone must be identical. It also recognizes that India's unity has to accommodate diversity. That is why Article 370A exists. So perhaps the better question isn't who is more patriotic. Maybe the better question is how do we protect patriotism without hurting conscience? Think about this. Imagine your best friend invites you to a family function. For your friend, this function is very important. It has a lot of emotional and cultural meaning. But you have a personal reason why you cannot participate in one particular part of it. Now imagine your friend saying, if you really respect me, you have to do it. Would forcing you make you respect their tradition more? Probably not. You might actually feel hurtful or resentful. Now turn the situation around. Imagine you invite your friend to something that is deeply patriotic for you, and your friend says, I respect you, but I don't feel comfortable participating in this particular activity. Would it be fair to immediately say, then you don't love this country? Probably not, because one action does not always tell us everything about what is inside a person's heart. And this is where maturity is important. Patriotism cannot be measured only by whether someone sings a particular song. At the same time, religious freedom should never become an excuse to disrespect our country or insult its traditions. We have to learn to hold both ideas together. I can love India, you can love India, but we may express that love differently. And that's the beauty of democracy. We don't have to agree on everything. We simply have to learn how to respect one another while respecting the country we call our home. Because sometimes maturity is not about forcing everyone to think like us, it's about having the strength to respect someone even when they don't. So, is Nagaland saying no to India? I don't think we should reduce this entire controversy to that statement. There are organizations in Nagaland that have objected to compulsory singing of Vande Mataram. There are also people who strongly believe the national song deserves full respect. And there are constitutional questions that are still being debated. So rather than shouting at each other, perhaps we should listen. India became independent with the dream of becoming a nation where people of different backgrounds could live together. That means respecting the tricolor, respecting the national anthem, respecting the national song, and at the same time respecting the faith and conscience of fellow Indians. Because ultimately, India's unity cannot be built only by making everyone sing the same words. It has to be built by making everyone feel I belong here. Nagaland is part of India. Its people are part of India's story, and their concern deserves to be heard, just as the patriotic sentiments of millions of other Indians deserve to be respected. Maybe the real strength of India is not that we always agree. Maybe the strength of India is that we disagree and we still remain one nation. Jai Hind. In case you enjoyed this video, Please don't forget to share, like, and comment. And don't forget to subscribe to this beautiful channel, Faith Over Feelings Always. I am Rij Sequeira, and I'll see you in the next video. Until then, goodbye, take care, and God bless you all.